In this video, I'm going to be talking about van flooring. I'm going to talk about the type of flooring we use, when we install it in the van build process, how we install it, and also where we install it. So if you're building your own DIY van, or if you're looking for a builder to build your van and you want to just make sure that they do it correctly, then this video is definitely for you. So let's get into it. So over the years, I've gotten a lot of questions about van flooring, and I don't think I've ever done a dedicated video to flooring. I've talked about the flooring in a lot of other videos, but I decided this week I'd do a video just talking about the flooring. Because if you don't do your flooring right, you can have a lot of problems down the road. So let's talk first about the type of flooring that we use. The first 2 or 3 vans that we did, we used a LVP flooring from Home Depot. It was called Life Proof. And this was being used by a lot of other builders that we were talking with, and they really liked it. And so we used it in these first vans, and it's pretty durable. But we had a van that was sitting outside in the summer, and it was a finished van. The customer had brought this van back to us to have some upgrades done on it. And this van had the Life Proof flooring. And it was probably 90, 95 degrees, but the van's sitting outside, and obviously the vans get a lot hotter inside. And after a couple of days, we came out to do the work on the van. We opened up the sliding door, and we saw that some of the flooring in the front was just buckled, okay? It was like this in the van. So we had to pull all that flooring out, reinstall it, kind of a nightmare. And we went on this quest to find a better flooring. Out here where we are, we have stores called Floor & Decor. They're a nationwide chain. They have lots of options for flooring. But they have a flooring that we found that we really like to use. We've done it in this van. I'm going to talk about this, but I just have a piece of it. It comes in a lot of different colors. What I like about this is it's a 1/2 inch thick, so it's 12 millimeter. A lot of flooring that you find that's inexpensive at big box stores, even Costco sells some, Home Depot, Lowe's, they have lots of options. A lot of these floorings are 6 millimeter, so half the thickness of this, and they're also really flexible. Like you can just score it and snap it in half. That's one of the suggestions they give on how to cut it is just to score it with a razor knife and snap it in half. You can bend it. You can see this one. I mean, it's really, really hard to flex this one. It's super stiff, 1/2 inch thick. It's got a really nice kind of a texture. It's not like glossy on the top. It's got a little bit of texture like a real wood would have. It's got this backing on it that gives just a little bit of cushion. Then another thing I really like about this are the tongue and grooves on this. The interlocking parts are really, really strong. If you've ever dealt with those cheaper, thinner materials, these edges can break off really easily. And when you're trying to install them, I've even had where, something gets in between here, like a screw or even a piece of material, and you try and put it in here and it just damages that edge, and then the thing won't lock together, or they break off and then the pieces pull apart. That's something that's really common with these, and I say cheaper, but this isn't actually that expensive. A lot of those floorings are, $1.50, $2 a square foot. This is like maybe $3.50 a square foot. You're really not talking a lot of extra money to go with a real high quality floor, maybe $50 to $100 more to use something that's really good quality. Okay, so this floor is called AquaGuard, and it's kind of the house brand for Floor & Decor. And there are other floors out there that are similar to this. Just look for one that's 12 millimeters thick and that's real stiff and that has these really strong tongue and groove edges, the interlocking edges. Look for something like that. And there's other options besides the AquaGuard. But if you have a Floor & Decor near you, I suggest that you take a look at this. A really good price, really strong, really durable, comes in a lot of colors, and it's super easy to install. Another question that I get a lot is when in the van build process do you install the flooring? That's a great question. Now, if you're wondering about the van build sequence, the van build process, we've created a document. We call it our van build sequence spreadsheet. And it's the process that we use when we're building our vans that we go through to make sure that we do things in an order that doesn't cause problems down the road. That's the biggest thing with doing things out of sequence, is you get something installed and then you realize, oh, that's going to mess up something else, or that's going to interfere with the installation of something else. So doing things in a good sequence will allow you to not have to go back and redo things and take things out that you've already installed and end up with a much better finish on your vans. So if you'd like to check out that van build sequence spreadsheet, I'll put a link up here and also a link down in the description. So we do the flooring towards the end of the build. Now, a lot of DIYers love to do this like right at the beginning, just wall to wall, put all the flooring in. It's easy to do when there's nothing else in here, and then they just put everything on top of their flooring. Number one, that adds a lot of weight. It costs extra money because you're going to use more material, and it's just not necessary to do that. So like I say, we do our flooring towards the end of the process, probably in about the last, for us, a month, but we're doing these vans full time. So I would say it's maybe when you're, with us, we're like 70 to 80% finished with the van when we put the flooring in.
Hey guys, do you enjoy the outdoors but planning meals has got you down? Whether it's space, weight, refrigeration, or prep, healthy, quick, and easy delicious meals can be a real challenge. More and more people are turning to ThriveLife freeze-dried meals because they're lightweight, need no refrigeration, have no preservatives, and taste amazing. Just add hot water and you've got a meal in less than 10 minutes. With breakfast, lunch, and dinner options, Thrive has got you covered. Check out the link in description for more info.
Specifically, we put our mechanical boxes in and secured them. We have everything, all the cabinetry, the lower cabinets built, laid out and everything. And we're ready to install like our galley and some of the things up in the front of the van. That's the point when we put our flooring in. So that's where we are with this van. We're in the last 4 or 5 weeks of this van build. We've got all our mechanical boxes in, secure, and we're ready to start installing we've got a closet up front, a galley on the driver's side, another galley on the passenger side. And so we're ready to install the floor. Okay, so here we are. You can see we have the flooring here, pretty much wall to wall up here at the front of the van. So the way that we do it is we want pretty much a full piece to end up right here, okay? Over on that side, we'll have a narrow piece, but we want to calculate out so that this piece is pretty much a full piece. Okay, we do trim off the groove, the interlocking part on the edge. We actually install it starting on that wall and work our way towards the sliding door and towards the back. But what we do is we just take the pieces and lay them out and figure out how much to cut off on that one over on that end. And I think it ended up being like 1.5 inches or 2 inches wide for this van. And then we just work our way across. We take a piece right here and we measure, we lay a piece down here, and it all depends on your subfloor. In this van, we've got a hydronic flooring system. So we've got a 1-inch piece of insulation that the hydronic flooring PEX tubing is running through. And then we've got a 1/4-inch piece of subflooring on top of that. And then we've got our 12 millimeter or 1/2 inch flooring on top of that. So depending on how thick your floor is, you're going to figure out how wide does this piece need to be to sit just underneath the flooring. And we cut that piece. And you can see here, we've run it all the way to the back. Now, even though we're going to have the back of this galley is going to come all the way down, we'll have a hole here like a shoe bin. And so we like to run this all the way back so that you have this nice clean finish. So once we have that in, we glue that in with marine adhesive. Then we start on that wall and we just lay down that strip and the first strip, and we get it perfectly square. And I talked in another video about how we get a line dead center down the middle of the van. And we use that when we're doing our flooring. So we'll lay that first piece in and make sure that it's exactly parallel to the lines of the van. We'll measure from that center line and make sure it's parallel. Then we'll screw it down. And we screw it down where it's going to be covered. So you won't see the screws, We'll actually remove those screws once we get the flooring all in, but those screws just help the floor not to move while we're installing it, because you are going to have to tap to lock these together and you don't want your floor shifting around. So we've got a couple of screws in that first piece. Then we just start laying them and working back. So you can see right down here are those screws. And then we come out, we are going to have a closet right here. So we didn't put flooring where the closet's going to be. We are going to have a galley here. And so we like to run the flooring underneath the galley. And the reason is because we're using the extruded aluminum. We're going to have a toe kick and you're going to see partially underneath this. So we like to run the floor underneath all the way under the galley and put the galleys on top of the floor. But things like our battery, here's the structure for the batteries. That's not on the floor. This closet will not be on the floor. And the mechanical boxes are not on the floor. We run the floor up to those. You can see we just scribed around that pillar so that it fits there. And then we bring it right up to the front of the floor. And then we run it all the way back. And we just run it around these different structures. And we leave a little bit of a gap. Okay, we'll leave an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch gap, and you don't need to run it right up so that it's touching. We leave a little bit of a gap, and that helps to avoid squeaks and rattles. And that's all going to be covered up because we'll have a 1/2 inch panel that comes down here and rests just on top of the floor here. So it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of a gap, and you actually want that. But this is where it's so important to have everything straight and square in the van, because you want this flooring to the gap to be consistent all the way around. And really it's very simple just to get this, run it all the way to the back and work your way across. We stagger it. You can see we've used a full piece right here, and then we've taken 1/3 of it. So this one's 2/3 and this one is 1/3. And then we go back to a full piece, 2/3. And so that creates the staggered look of the flooring, which is what you want. So you might be wondering, well, it's LVP flooring, it's a floating floor, so is it okay to put this cabinetry on top of it? And we've found no problems at all in doing that. If you use the thinner 6mm, really flexible flooring, it will be a problem if you put stuff on top of it, because there is more expansion and contraction and floor can buckle. With this stuff, it's so rigid and strong, and the tongue and groove are so strong that there is no problem at all putting a few things on top of it. So like I said, we don't put our mechanical boxes, we don't put, like if we had a shower or a closet or things like that. But if we have things like a galley, we'll set that on top of it, and we'll just screw it into the walls and into the floor. Then the last thing we do, and we actually won't do this until like the last week of the build, but I want to show you how you do that, is we'll then trim out this floor with aluminum trim. And the reason we do it right at the end is because it tends to get scratched up with us working on the van. But we really like this. This is called a stair tread, and we get it from Home Depot, and it's got these lines in it. And it's nice because it doesn't show scuffs and scratches like just a smooth piece of angled aluminum would. It's got these lines, and it's actually specifically made for a stair tread. And so it's 1 inch by 1 inch. And so we'll just put that on here. We'll butt it right up to here. And then at the front, we'll just cut a 45. This one's kind of notched out for something else. This is a piece of scrap, but we'll actually cut a 45 here and the one coming across the 45 so that those meet, and form a nice corner. But we'll just put that on. We'll glue it in. We'll put marine adhesive along here. Put the marine adhesive down. It already has pre-drilled holes, so we'll just screw it in those spots. Just screw it into this flooring. So another thing I like about this flooring is it holds screws pretty well. Some of that cheaper vinyl 6mm stuff just won't hold screws. We'll just use like a 3/4 inch screw that'll go through the flooring into the subfloor and glue and screw that down. Okay, so we'll do that across the here and also across the front. Now across the back, there's a couple of different options. Depending on the thickness of your floor, this van has about a 1 1/4 inch subfloor because it's got the 1 inch insulation for the PEX tubing, then a 1/4 inch subfloor, and then the floor on top of this. So this floor is 1 3/4 inches thick. You can see this stair tread doesn't cover everything, and it doesn't look too bad because we've used a piece of square aluminum tubing, 1 inch by 1 inch tubing here to kind of add extra strength right at the back. We do this here and also along the sliding door and along the front where you might be putting some weight and you don't want it crushing your insulation. So we've done that to reinforce. We also put them underneath where our mechanical boxes are because they're kind of heavy. But you can see here that this doesn't completely come all the way down. Like I said, it doesn't look too bad because of this aluminum, but you can go with something a little bit thicker. This is a 1 1/2 inch angle aluminum, and they make a 2. So in this case, we'll probably use the 2 inch so that it comes all the way down to the bottom. But you can just kind of find something, some kind of aluminum trim that will cover everything there and make that look really clean. So hopefully this video helps you when you get to doing the flooring in your van conversion. And like I said, if you're interested in that van build sequence spreadsheet, then there's a link down below for that. We also have a DIY van build materials list that we've created where we list all of the different materials that we use in our van conversion. We spent years testing and researching products to find the ones that we think work great in van conversions. So you can check that out with the link below. Now, if you want to see more videos about van building, van life, van build products, then please consider subscribing and be sure to smash that like button. And we'll see you in the next video. Jeff with Thrive Vans, thrive on. See ya.